And welcome back to This Week in the USHL. I want to thank Seth Ambrose for joining us from the Omaha Lancers, and had an opportunity here on the program tonight to catch up with a couple of current and thriving members of the USHL, both college-bound. Tucker Brockett, that we talked to earlier, who's going to be headed to Princeton, and then just a few moments ago, Seth Ambrose, who will be playing for his home state, Minnesota Gophers. And now to our alumni segment. We missed connections a couple of weeks ago in the midst of, I don't know if it was snowstorm number 6, 7, or 8, but it's a pleasure to have Mike Sislo, guy that I've been watching as the voice of Boston University hockey quite closely for the last 4 years. He is now the senior captain of the UNH Wildcats, currently ranked 8th in the nation at 17-7-4, and another outstanding offensive season for Mike playing for Coach Dick Umile. He is now tied for 13th nationally overall, scoring with 38 points, 10 goals, 28 assists, and along with his line mates, Phil DeSimone and Paul Thompson, makes up one of the most prolific and dangerous lines in the country. Mike, thanks very much for coming in to join us here on This Week in the USHL.
And no problem. It's my pleasure.
Well, it's been a great college career, and as I mentioned, Mike, I've had a chance to observe you quite a bit and see your development. When I think of Mike Sislo, I certainly think of offense, and being the voice of BU hockey, I think of the danger when you've been on the ice. The fact that you can really shoot it, you can get the puck to the net, and looking at your body of work, any guy now in college hockey that's able to break that 100-point mark has had a tremendous offensive career in college hockey. You currently have 106 points, 46 goals, and 60 assists in 143 games, and far from done this season. I know that the Wildcats have some very high aspirations, despite the fact that you had your struggles with Merrimack, but not unusual. There's a lot of teams that have had their struggles with Merrimack. They are a real Cinderella story this year in Hockey East.
Oh, absolutely. They've done well all year. They've been just improving every week, and they've been impressing people around the country, I think. And we knew going in it was going to be a tough weekend for us, and unfortunately, it didn't turn out the way we wanted.
You look at the way that your team, and I look at you from year to year. I get great respect for Coach Umile. He's a good friend, as he is a very good friend of Coach Parker at BU. And I'm just amazed at the way guys step up at UNH. It's truly a program where guys step up, they take on greater responsibility. I look at that line this season. I'm sure you've had a lot of fun playing with Phil DeSimone and Paul Thompson, who's really emerged as a big offensive performer.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun. I got to see them two play with Bobby Butler last year, and them three all had a lot of success, and it's been fun kind of stepping in where Bob was last year, and all three of us have been having a lot of fun this year playing together.
Big influence on the UNH program, as it is with many elite programs in Division I college hockey of the USHL. 15 players on the roster. I know Scott Borick pretty much can go and get a second residency out in the Omaha area and just kind of stay in the middle of the USHL. 15 players on your team come from the USHL. That's the second most in Hockey East. And you've got guys such as Phil DeSimone and Matt DiGirolamo, who were both first-team All-Stars in the league. Blake Kessel was an all-rookie performer in 2007, 2008. So I suspect there's been some familiarity spending 4 years at UNH, knowing that you've got so many guys that you probably either played with or played against or ran into along the way, and just the fact that you have that shared experience of what it was like to get through the rigors and the real serious preparation of a USHL season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't say enough about my experience in the USHL, and it was a lot of fun, and I really needed those 2 years that I was there to develop and get exposure to college hockey, and that's, definitely the reason why I'm here at UNH today, and it's a lot of fun seeing guys that you played against in the USHL. Now you're on their teams, and throughout the Hockey East, there's a ton of guys that played in the USHL. So to be able to see guys that I played with in the USHL now I'm playing against, or guys I continue to play against, so it's a lot of fun. It was a good experience, and it's definitely the biggest reason why I'm here today.
Well, absolutely. And, when I look at your roots and being familiar with the fact that you're from Superior, Wisconsin, I'm sure it was pretty nice for you to not have to travel so far. You got a chance to play for the Green Bay Gamblers, not too far from home and right in your home state where as you know, a lot of guys, you look at the resumes of guys that play in the USHL and go on to college, they may become thousands of miles, many time zones, sometimes crossing oceans for the opportunity to play in the USHL and to get that great exposure for their game and to get that Division I college opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of guys that came in from different countries or just throughout the United States, and I was fortunate enough to get drafted by the Gamblers to be able to play in my home state, and it was a lot of fun. And I think it definitely was a big decision when I chose to go there after my junior year of high school, and if it was somewhere else, it might have been a tougher decision. But being close to home and being able to see my family and friends decent amount throughout the year definitely helped that, and it was a lot of fun, and it exposed me to players throughout the country and throughout other countries as well.
I'm trying to remember back now as far as your coach in Green Bay. Was Mark Mazzolini, the former Harvard coach there?
Yep, Coach Mazzolini. He was my coach for 2 years, and he was a great coach, and I can't thank him enough for everything he's done. He really pushed me hard for 2 years. In my first year in the league, I didn't have a ton of success. I was more of like a third, mostly fourth line guy all year, and he really believed in me and gave me a bigger role on the team the next year and gave me an opportunity, and I kind of took off from there, and I can't thank him enough.
Well, currently, as you mentioned, your first season, 6 points, and I guess you're very humble, Mike, because you didn't mention the second season. You talk about a breakout year, and you went from 6 points your first year to 49 your second year, and really turned a lot of heads in that second season. It just seems the more guys that we talk to about the USHL, getting that first season of experience is just invaluable. The jump that you made was quite dramatic, but it just seems like there's a number of guys that take a big, big leap in that second season if they have that opportunity.
Absolutely. I think I don't think some people realize how big of a jump it can be going into the USHL, no matter where they played previously. And playing high school hockey in Superior was, it's competitive, and it was a lot of fun, but it was a huge jump going into the USHL, and it took me a whole season to really adjust completely, but I definitely needed that season to improve my skills and improve and make me a better player.
Well, you get to play also in the shadow. It's only a leap from Lambeau Field to your arena. I've been to Lambeau Field. I know where you guys play. And I'm just going to take a guess and figure that you're probably a big Packer fan. You're probably going to come back and say, no, I root for the Bears. But that was pretty exciting to be in Titletown. The Green Bay Gamblers sharing having the hockey stage there with the Green Bay Packers, now the world champions once again.
Oh, absolutely. That was a blast. I was able to get to a few games, and I've been a Packer fan my whole life. So I've been watching Brett Favre since I was just a little kid, and I love the Packers, and I was pumped when they won it this year, and it was a good experience being there, being able to go to a few games and stuff like that, and just the fan support in Green Bay is unbelievable.
Oh, it's tremendous. You guys, I'm sure, fed off of that just as the Packers. It's it's such a small market for the National Football League, and really a town in every sense of the word, a great Midwest town. And I know that they support their Gamblers in the same fashion that they are very fervent about the Pack.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Gamblers, Bobcats, now they get a lot of great support, and play at the Resch Center. It's an unbelievable rink, a great facility, and the staff they have there is first class all the way, and it was a real pleasure both years, and I'm never going to forget the memories I have from that.
Well, you went over to see the Packers. You mentioned about Brett Favre being an idol. Anybody in the Packers, did you leave tickets for Brett Favre or Donald Driver or anybody? Did anybody in the Packers ever come over and catch a Gamblers game?
I think there was. I can't remember who it was, but somebody had the ceremonial puck drop one time.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember his name, but no, I never really saw too many of those guys around, but it was fun watching them on TV and getting to a few games.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great experience in the USHL and a great experience to be in Green Bay. And now you get to play at the Whittemore Center, and that's a pretty solid home ice experience, atmosphere, the aura of playing in that building. And when the fish comes flying, I mean, it's got a lot of unique traditions up there, and I'm sure that's been a great 4 years to be able to spend it in such a terrific college environment as Durham.
Absolutely. I fell in love with Durham the first time I came here, and I've had a blast ever since I came here. And playing at the Wit is unbelievable. We have great fans and great student section, and the big ice is a lot of fun with the traditions, with the fish and everything. It's a great place for college hockey, and I'm sad that I'm getting up there and I'm going to be moving on soon.
Well, hopefully not too soon. We want to wish you the best heading into the stretch run in Hockey East, Mike, and also beyond that. I'm sure you'll be playing some hockey beyond that, and we're going to be following your career very closely, as everybody around the USHL will be, as another alum that I'm sure will be making news and making a name for himself well beyond your college years. And want to thank you for coming on in our alumni segment here in This Week in the USHL. We'll be talking again, I'm sure.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Mike Sislo, the senior captain, yet another captain from the USHL at the Division I college level, and he is currently the captain, senior forward at the University of New Hampshire, native of Superior, Wisconsin, who spent 2 years of training in Green Bay with the Green Bay Gamblers. Well, that's going to wrap it up here on This Week in the USHL. I'd like to thank all of our guests, Tucker Brockett, Princeton bound from the Chicago Steel, Seth Ambrose from the Omaha Lancers, will be playing for his home state, Gophers of Minnesota. And in our alumni segment tonight, thank you to Mike Sislo, battling a cold, but was there for us, and an Iron Man as he is in the lineup for Dick Umili and the New Hampshire Wildcats. I want to invite you to join us again next week. We'll have more on This Week in the USHL.